So if there was one thing, this is an odd question to ask you,
Yeah.
because I'm assuming that you've probably already done this. What I'm about to say, if it would be, but if there's one thing about LeSS you could change, what would it be?
Well, I think you've figured out the answer already. If there's one thing about LeSS that I would like to change, then I would have changed it.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, a question that came to me earlier. If at any point in your journey in LeSS choosing you, did you ever doubt Scrum as the foundation?
Yes, I think more than once, and then I'll need to separate the what I would consider Scrum and the current written down description of Scrum, which are unfortunately not equal anymore. But even then, Scrum is Scrum is not something you'd like to do. it, it is, it is the structure that you require for creating and building a team. And it's not a purpose by itself. So therefore, if you could do away with it and get the same team dynamics or similar team dynamics, then that would be great. But getting there is very hard if you don't put something like Scrum in place. But if you then choose to say, okay, and that's what we've done in a way, we're going to identify with the tool Scrum to create nice, well-working teams, to provide that structure for the organization to build a team, and the original product owner team separation also gets us a bit out of contract game like dynamics, or should get us out of contract game dynamics. So if you choose that, then you also get with that all of the negative aspects of that, and that is the religiousness that people have for Scrum, or the religiousness that people have against Scrum, or the majority of the people, they have very poor Scrum experience, and they associate their experience with Scrum. Most of the less, including the current one where I'm in, most of the less adoptions where I come, in a way, the first year they go backwards because they thought they were doing a bit of less in Scrum, and then after a year they realized that what they called Scrum wasn't really much of Scrum yet. Right? So you take all of that negative things with it immediately, and that that that's the drawback of that. I guess I wouldn't change the decision, but there's definitely many times when I and also Craig, even more Craig perhaps, questioned that decision.
What made I suppose what made you stick with it then? Was it just a lack of alternative options, or was that why LeSS then became a thing because you said, well, okay, well, Scrum on its own, we're not that satisfied. So, well, we think it could be more suitable if we made some not changes, but we added to it.
To what? To Scrum itself?
To Scrum, yeah. I'm just wondering, yeah, why was it a lack of alternatives that made you stick with Scrum?
Not really. I think it's more the building on top of that basis probably helps us to go forward, and challenging that further just doesn't it doesn't doesn't go forward very much. Right? By taking Scrum, we can say, we'll just assume the in team dynamics are kind of done. We have a certain frame around that. We have the product on a product backlog structure. Considering that as a basis, what else is there around there? What else is important? Taking that as an assumption and removing that, I guess would have not been helpful.
Great. Thank you for that, Bas. I found that really interesting to listen to, actually. There's not a question that I'd ever thought of before, so thank you for taking time to answer it.